So now, I'll take some time to talk to you about my employer, the lastminute.com London Eye. Standing at 135 metres high, this is the world's tallest cantilevered observation wheel. Cantilevered means it's supported on just one side, and this is an observation wheel as the pods are on the outside of it. This is not a Ferris wheel. My manager gets very upset when I use the F word. The Eye has 32 pods, one for each borough of Greater London. But don't be confused if you find yourself on pod 33. That's because we've removed pod 13 to reassure any superstitious guests. The Eye was designed by David Marks and Julia Barfield, and the design was originally entered into a competition that was held to find a new landmark to celebrate the millennium. And the design for the London Eye came in second place. However, British Airways liked the design so much that they offered to fund it themselves. It cost them about £75 million to build, but it made that profit back within the first 2 years of being open. Just make sure you stay seated. Thank you. The parts to assemble the Eye came from 6 different countries across Europe. All those parts were shipped up the Thames, and the Eye was assembled flat on the river before being lifted into place by the world's tallest crane just in time for the millennium. The next bridge ahead of us is the Hungerford Bridge. This is a Victorian railway bridge that connects trains to Charing Cross train station over on the left. There has been a train station there for about 150 years. The building above it is much newer. Designed in the 1980s by Terry Farrell, he wanted that building to look like a steam train coming out of a tunnel with smoke billowing around it. If you can see that, well done. I just see a big toaster. What do I know? On either side of the railway, you've got the Golden Jubilee footbridges. Hello! These were added in 2002, which was the year of our late Queen's Golden Jubilee. 50 years on the throne. Over on the left, you'll see a square-shaped building with a dark green tile roof, single flagpole in the middle. That is the world-famous Savoy Hotel. Designed by Richard Dorley-Cart to accompany his Savoy Theatre, this was London's first ever luxury hotel. Loads of famous names have stayed in there, from Charlie Chaplin and Marilyn Monroe, all the way up to Justin Bieber and Taylor Swift. The most expensive rooms at the Savoy are in the Royal Suite, and these will cost you £18,000 a night with a 3-night minimum stay. With that price, you get your own hand-stitched mattress, butler service, and your own personal therapist. So there you go. If you're spending £18,000 on a hotel room, you need a therapist. The area to our right is our South Bank. The South Bank Centre has its origins in the Festival of Britain of 1951, which was intended to be a tonic to the nation after World War II. The main building that stands from that festival is the Royal Festival Hall. Huge concert venue there. It's also where they tend to host the BAFTAs nowadays. Lots of other arts venues were later added. You've got the Queen Elizabeth Hall, the Purcell Room, the Hayward Gallery, and under those buildings we've got the UK's very first skateboard park, the Underground. Opened in the early 1970s, and since then has claimed to be the home of British skateboarding. This building to our right with the electronic screen above it is our Royal National Theatre. Like many buildings on the South Bank, it was built in the brutalist style of architecture. King Charles once described that building as looking like a nuclear power station. I don't think he's a massive fan of brutalism. I must admit I am rather fond of it. Despite its arguably rather ugly exterior, inside it you'll find 3 beautiful theatres. And you can see loads of award-winning shows there, often before they get a West End or Broadway transfer, and usually at a much cheaper price. So it's always a great bargain for any fans of theatre.
London Eye.
Just make sure he's sat down. I just don't want to leave him over the edge like that. It's not safe for him. Thank you. A little further ahead, you'll see a red brick building, which, as you might be able to guess, was once owned by the company Oxo, the company that makes stock cubes that are still very popular in Britain today. If you look at the tower atop the building, you might think it spells out the company's name, OXO. However, I have to tell you that is technically not true. In the 1930s, when the tower was built, skyline advertising was illegal, and Oxo were taken to court for building the